Today we are in Port Washington, Wisconsin. And we're going to go down this nice long staircase. And there's the water treatment plant down by the lake. And you can see the harbor. And if you look way, way, way down, there's a bunch of buildings way in the background. That is Milwaukee. We are about 30 miles north of that right now. Look at the beautiful water, beautiful color of the water today. Geez, it doesn't even look like Lake Michigan. It makes you feel like you're in the Bahamas or something. There you go. That's where we came down. We're at the Port Washington, Wisconsin North Beach. This all washed up from the path to the beach is kind of closed. There is no beach. The beach is gone. Woo-wee. Here we go. Still in port. It's still pretty windy. There's the breakwater. Big, long pier to walk on. This bandshell was erected through the generosity of Edwin and Mary Jahing. I hope I'm saying that correctly, in 1934. A quick little tidbit, Ronald Reagan, as president in 1984, actually came here and gave a speech. It's very nice out here today. It's about a little cooler by the lake, probably 50, but beautiful day nonetheless to be out road tripping with Yogi. As the seagull drifts gracefully over the water looking for a meal. And he landed in the water. Apparently he's not looking for a meal. I don't know if you can see to the way down in the background. There's a couple little things sticking up. That is downtown Milwaukee. That is St. Mary's Church. It's up on a hill here, overlooking downtown Port Washington. It's an iconic view, really. It's kind of, as you come turn, downtown's right over here. It can't miss it. It's really cool the way it just kind of looms over the town. I'm at the top of the hill right in front of St. Mary's Church, and there is your view of downtown Port Washington. I don't know, but I always thought of downtown Port Washington, the pier, the area in general, as kind of a East Coast, New Englandish feel to it. And here you can get a clear shot of downtown. And here we are at the Port Washington, St. Mary's actually, Lighthouse. I don't know if they have allowed people to go up there to the light part. I'm sure they're not open right now because of the coronavirus. 1860. And this, of course, is on the Wisconsin State Register of Historic Places. Here we are, the Port Washington Historical Society 1860 Lighthouse. This lighthouse is maintained and preserved by admissions and donations exclusively. The lighthouse was restored through donations and volunteer hours of the members of the Port Washington Historical Society. They are open Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but obviously not today. But they do take you up to the tower, I guess. This here says large anchor main bore. This large anchor is from a whaling ship from New England. It was donated by Mr. Jim Burt. Captain Charles Lewis Sr. had been a whaling ship captain before entering lighthouse service in 1874. The friction ring from the windlass of the steamer Toledo, which sank off of Port Washington in 1856, October of 1856, was donated by Mr. Arthur Keller. The shipwreck artifacts from the engine room of the steamer Niagara, which sank about 4 miles north of Port Washington in September 1856, were donated by Mr. and Mrs. R.E. Schroeder. Yeah, they got the bell here you can ring if you want. This is the oil house. The oil house was built in 1894 when the lighthouse service began using more flammable fuel in the lamps, and it was no longer deemed safe to store this type of fuel inside the main dwelling. The oil house was torn down in 1934, and the bricks were used to rebuild the main chimney. This area was excavated and the original foundation and footings were located. In 2004, the oil house was reconstructed on that foundation as an exact replica. Some of the 1894 bricks are visible in the main chimney. I'm assuming that's them there. In the lighthouse attic, as well as around the perimeter of the oil house, where they are used as a splash guard, and a few original bricks displayed inside the oil house. Oh, this is the museum right here, this little building. Huh. And here's the Lighthouse Museum. This is the well here. This is the site of the original well for the 1849 and 1860 light station. It was only 32 feet deep and the water was not potable. The well pulley is from the steamer Toledo, which was battered to pieces in a storm off Port Washington in 1856 with heavy loss of life. The Northerner. Oh, there's a picture of the Northerner down below, resting on the bottom of Lake Michigan. It says here the schooner Northerner was built in 1850 at Clayton, New York, and sold to Nicholas Ronk and Andrews Ryerson in 1865. While loading cordwood at the village of Amsterdam, 12 miles north of Port Washington, she struck bottom and was damaged. The Northerner was towed into Port Washington in a leaking condition and her deck load unloaded. Taken in tow from Milwaukee by the steamer Cuyahoga, the Northerner capsized and sank in 135 feet of water 5 miles southeast of Port Washington. The anchor of the Northerner was obtained by the Port Washington Historical Society and returned to Port Washington, her last port of call. And now we are at Coal Dock Park in Port Washington, Wisconsin, and that is a big power plant. They used to use coal, but not anymore. So right over here used to be where the coal was piled up, and it's not anymore. But here's downtown Port Washington again. There's a neat pavilion right here that you can actually climb up into and look through the windows there. So we're gonna go do that now. Nice little spiral staircase. The spiral staircase. Dun, dun, dun. Here we are. A little bit better view. There's a spiral staircase we just came up. And there's port. The port that makes port. There's the St. Mary's Church way over there in the distance. And that is downtown. Again, like I said, it reminds me of a New England seaside village. It's got that kind of feel to it. This Cold Lock Park is a very, very open park. A lot of people taking advantage of today. Just hanging out, chilling. I see a kite up in the air there. We are about to go over this bridge and take a hike on the trails on the other side. What will we find? I don't know, but I see a sail. So there's a sailboat over there somewhere. Doing a little wind sailing out on the lake. A little boat out there doing some fishing. This here is South Beach Park. Not much of a beach right now, but maybe during the summer there will be. The water levels have been pretty high lately, and they've been eroding the beaches. There's a beach north of here called Harrington State Park, where we went, was that last 4th of July or 2 years ago? Last year we went there on the 4th of July and there was no beach. Couple sea-doos ski-dooing. This replica of the Wisconsin pillar from the National World War II Memorial in Washington, D.C. is placed here in honor of the 332,200 Wisconsinites who served in the armed forces of the United States during World War II, my father being one of them. The star on this plaque commemorates the 8,390 Wisconsin veterans who lost their lives during the war. While often in the shadow of this magnificent pillar, the star comes into sunlight at precisely 11:11 each Veterans Day. A light and sunburst, the star stands as a humble reminder that the spirit of freedom purchased by our veterans shines on in perpetuity. And here it is.